Hey everybody, so here's the deal, the special offer from eToro with the guaranteed no losses, which is incredible. I've never seen that before. So it's about this asset here specifically, Gainers Qtrly, one of their smart portfolios. What they're saying is if we invest a minimum of $10,000 into this asset, we can invest up to $2 million under this deal, but the minimum is $10,000. And we keep this invested, our $10,000, for about a year and 2.5 months, okay, until January of 2025. So the rest of 2023 and all the way through 2024 until after December 31st, 2024. If we can hold this open for that amount of time, then if at the end of that time we have made losses on this, eToro will absorb those losses, guaranteed no losses. If we invest $10,000 and we've lost whatever, a load of money, they will give us back our $10,000. Obviously, if we've made profits, we get to keep our profits, all of them. We get to keep all the profits we make. If we've made losses and we've held it open that time, they absorb all the losses and give us our principal investment back. Incredible, right? So, what is this? So, if you're not familiar with eToro, eToro is a site where we can invest in stocks and shares and commodities and all the rest of it. But if we don't know how to trade, or we don't have time or don't want to learn how to trade, the other really beautiful function of eToro, and what brought me to the site and many people to the site, we can browse through the profiles of all these different investors on eToro, all the different traders. We can take a look at their statistics, how they've done. And if we think we like the look of them, we can click the copy button and our account will simply start to copy all of the trades they make automatically. It's incredible. It's like being able to copy all the smartest kids in class. We're just copying their homework. They do all the research, they watch the markets, and we get the benefit of all that time and skill and attention. And we don't just have to copy one investor. We can copy really as many as we like, up to 100 at the same time with different amounts of money. There's a load of control over it. So that's something great that eToro offers. So with this asset, which the special offer applies to, what eToro have done, they've set their machine learning, their algorithms to work, scanning through all of the traders, all of the investors on eToro. What the algorithm is trying to do is put together a team of all of the traders who it thinks are going to make the best gains going forward. That's why it's called Qtrly Gains. It's looking to put a team together. We're not investing in one single trader. We're not copying one trader. We're investing in that team that the algorithm has put together. If we look in the portfolio section, we can see that there's actually a whole group of traders in there. At the moment, I think there's 20. Now that changes quarterly. Every 3 months they will add and remove traders and change it up as they see fit. This algorithm's always looking to put together the best team. A quick interruption. I had got in touch with eToro to try and find out how many people can take part in this special offer. I was thinking loads of people might want to take part. Is there a limit, a cutoff point? And eToro got back to me this morning, and unfortunately they said that this is only for existing eToro users. Okay, I can't promote this to outside people as though come in and everyone's going to get the money, sort of zero loss guarantees. It's only for existing customers. Now, one of the reasons that might be, I was looking through the terms and conditions, which I'll show you later on in the video, and one of the things there is it says there's a cap on the amount of investment which can go into this special offer. Now, that cap is $100 million, which granted sounds like an awful lot of money, but if you look at the amount of people who are already on eToro and who might want to invest in this, I think that total limit might be used up pretty quickly, and that might be why they're saying it's only for existing customers. So there we are. If there ever is one which is for everyone from the outside, I'll let you know. Okay, back to the video. Quarterly, every 3 months, they will add and remove traders and change it up as they see fit. This algorithm's always looking to put together the best team. So what's the statistics on this? How is it actually done historically, this asset? We can check. So we can see data here back to 2015, although right here, this is when this asset actually came into being. These ones with the asterisk, they're back testing. It means the asset wasn't live then, but if it was, this is how much it would have made. So in 2015, it would have made 14.54%, 2016, 12.44%, 2017, it would have made 29.78%, which is a really high return. These are very high returns. 2018, it would have lost 1.09%, so a small loss there when there's a loss. 2019, 14.3%, 2020, 24%, 2021, 5.97%. Last year, 2022, it lost 8.31%, and this year it's up 11.60%. So we can see that we've got quite a few years of data there. We've got 8 years of data, and we've only got sort of 2 losing years there, and they're both actually quite quite small. So that's kind of seems like good results. Now, over here we have a fact sheet about it. Let's look at the fact sheet. So here we are, September 2023. So this was made like last month. eToro's Gainers Quarterly Smart Portfolio copies various users on the eToro trading platform that's selected by a system algorithm from our database. Now here it says the minimum investment is 5,000. That's normally how much we need to invest in this product. But for this special offer, the sort of zero losses guaranteed offer, the minimum is $10,000. So over here, we can see a performance comparison against the MSCI World Index. Now, why have they done that? So here's the Gainers Quarterly in the dark green, and we can see that the line there is above this blue line. Now, often with trading, what they do is they're comparing how well does this product stand up against another very well-known product. Now, what is the MSCI World Index here? So here we are, the MSCI World Index captures large and mid-cap representation across 23 developed market countries. So what that's saying is that if we had invested in these big companies, we can see sort of which ones are notable. Let's have a look. So top 10 constituents are Apple at nearly 5%, Microsoft at 4%, Amazon, Nvidia, Alphabet, which is Google, Tesla. So what the MSCI is trying to show us is if we'd invested in some of the biggest companies in the world, from 23 of the world's biggest developed economies, how much money would we have made? And what this is showing us is that if we had invested in this portfolio, the Gainers Quarterly portfolio on eToro, we'd have actually beaten that MSCI. We'd have done better than if we had held these biggest companies from 23 of the most developed nations in the world. So it's a sort of benchmark. It's trying to show, it's a performance comparison, that it is actually working. It's better than just holding some of these biggest companies in the world, that this system they're running, the algorithm has picked traders which can outperform that. It's a huge thing to see. Over here we can see that there are stocks, Forex, which is trading currencies, indices, commodities and cryptos are all included as what people are trading within this portfolio. Total annualized return is 10.22. So if you take all of the years which this has been running, take all of the gains that have been made and sort of divide those gains by the amount of years running, it would be 10.22% per year. It's got a Sharpe ratio of 1.14. What does that mean? Sharpe ratios sort of measure risk to reward. So does the Sortino ratio. Now, a Sharpe ratio of above 1 is considered good. This is 1.14. Sortino ratio of above 2 is considered good. This is 2.33. We're always trying to work out how risky is this. You can give me promise me, I don't know, $1 million return, maybe. For what risk? What's the risk that I might lose it all? We're always trying to work out how much are we going to get? Fine, you can tell me that, but what's on the line? How much do I have to risk to get this reward? These two numbers are trying to give us some example, some idea of how much risk is in this. And according to these two metrics, it's going well. Portfolio breakdown shows what sort of things everyone's investing in, the traders in these. They're investing in across a broad range of assets, different parts of the economy, different industries. Geographical exposure, they're mostly in the United States, these assets, and then France, Germany, Ireland, Britain. These are the assets rather than the actual traders we're copying. So when I look at this is a really sort of helpful for me because $10,000 is obviously a lot of money. And I want to know, these people, this team that it's put together, how do I know that they're any good? One thing I noticed looking at this, and I've seen this from other people, comments, on eToro, when you want to be copied and you want eToro to pay you and give you perks, the more people are copying you, you become part of what's called the Popular Investor Program. Now, on this Popular Investor Program, there are 4 tiers, 4 levels of Popular Investor. The first level, Cadet, which has a blue star, then there's a second level with the red star, third level with the green star, and then the Elite Pro Popular Investors who have a black star. These are the 4 tiers, all right? The green and black stars are the highest tiers. Now, once you get to the green and black stars, you really have to do some training. You actually have to sit exams and get proper financial training. The first 2 stars, it's just your statistics. If you're doing well, people will copy you. If you're not doing well, people won't copy you and you won't progress. But on those last 2, you actually have to be financially trained to a degree. Now, I was thinking this portfolio, it's going to be full, most likely, this asset, Gainers Quarterly, should be full of people with black stars and green stars, the top people that we're copying, $10,000. But looking at who we're copying, we see that many people don't have a star at all. We see a couple of stars, but most people don't even have stars. You see, the algorithm is just finding them, whether they're on the Popular Investor Program or not. It's looking at all of the traders on this system, and it's finding unknown traders, people no one's copying, and it's trying to find the raw talent, the raw ability, and put them together into a team. Now, I don't know. I'm used to seeing a green star or a black star, some sort of pre-approval. Is this someone I should sort of copy? Can I trust this person? Now, with this, we don't know. The only way I can sort of know, is it doing a good job, this algorithm? Can I trust this? Is by these sorts of results. It's beating the MCSI World Index, which is amazing. And I can look at the Sharpe ratio. So risk to reward is good. The profits are good when compared to another benchmark. That's kind of what I'm looking at. These really do help. All of this information is super helpful to me because they're unknowns. Many of the people who are in this team of traders are unknowns. So down here we can see the average risk score. Over the last 7 days it's 3, and it's average 4, max 4, average 4, max 5, and we can see it coming down. In June, average 3, max 4, and just here in September and October we can see average 2, max 3. Now maybe they've brought their risk even further down since they've launched this offer. Obviously eToro don't want us all incurring huge losses, and they've guaranteed 0 losses, so they're going to have to pay us back loads of money. eToro don't want that. I don't know how exactly they're profiting off this, because they're guaranteeing our losses. What I'm thinking is that if we all put 10,000 minimum into this, there's a lot of money in eToro. Maybe eToro uses that for more funding. They show how much is actually invested at any one time. Or maybe they just think, well, we're not going to lose money. We believe this portfolio can win money, and we're going to make all the normal spread fees that we normally make off everyday trading. That's what happens with trading, these tiny little fees on every trade we do, and that's part of how eToro makes their money. Now, someone actually asked, what if we get to the end of this year and we've incurred loads of trading fees, overnight fees, spread fees, and all right, so we haven't made any profit, but eToro maybe doesn't give us back our 10,000. Maybe it's 10,000 minus all the fees, which could be enormous. Someone asked this question in a thread which is running, a conversation which is running on the quarterly gainers page. Let's have a look at that. So here we are. eToro team, are the fees part of the losses, hence insured or not? For example, if I invest 10k and go minus at the end of the period, would I get 10k or 10k minus fees back? And they replied, hello, losses are compensated up to the initial investment, including fees. So if I make losses, and I've say invested the 10k minimum, and I make losses, will I get my 10k back, or will they take off the fees and spread fees? No, I'll get it all back. I will get my 10k back, my original investment, whatever I invested. Minimum 10k, but over that, up to 2 million, I will get back. Guaranteed no losses. It's quite a thing. These threads are incredible, by the way. These are also very useful to read if you're thinking about doing this. Now, an important thing to note is that we have to leave that money that we invest for the full period of this, up until January the 1st, 2025. And that's GMT time. That's how they're measuring when is January the 1st of 2025. We have to leave the money in there until then. If we go under 10,000 during that time, we're out of the deal. That's it. The offer won't apply to us. It will invalidate it. We can still take our money out and close it whenever we want. We can do that at any time. Our money isn't locked in at all. We can put our 10,000 in and we could take it out next week or tomorrow or whenever. But the deal won't apply to us. The zero loss guarantee only applies if we leave our money, if we leave that investment running until the 1st of January of 2025, okay? It doesn't mean it's locked in. We can still take it out, but if we do, this deal won't apply to us. Okay, so really what's the problem with this? Are there any risks? What's the problem as far as I can see? Because guaranteed no losses sounds like a no-brainer, right? Now, the ones I can see, if I invested $10,000 in this, it would tie up my money for a year and 2.5 months. So that money, opportunity cost, in investing, in trading, whatever, your money is what you use to make you more money. You invest it in places, hopefully wisely, to get the best return on investment. So if I invest it here, I can't invest it elsewhere. That's the opportunity cost. Is this the best place to invest my money? I would probably go for it. I don't have $10,000 at the moment. I would probably go for it. Why? Because things are looking choppy. Things are looking very risky. I would leave my money invested, and it would be nice to know. I look at the returns for a start, and I think these returns are sort of very sensible returns. I like the look of these going back. 12, 29, 14, 24. We see 2 losses, 8%. Last year, I copied people who lost more. I saw a lot of people lose more than 8%. So I think the risk to reward of this is pretty good. On this, another thing it says, down here, it actually says that each trader is weighted equally and accompanied by a 5% stop loss. So each of the people who are in this team, they've got a 5% stop loss, meaning if they ever lose 5%, have its 5% drawdown, boom, they're off the team. So there's a real sort of tight control of drawdowns and losses in this, you know. So I see it as kind of the risk to reward. We saw the Sharpe ratio, the Sortino ratio. The risk to reward looks good. That sort of gives me some comfort. I may be wrong, but it gives me some comfort that it's not just idiots looking after the money, and it's not just a ridiculous idea. Historically, this is quite a lot of data, and it's done well, and the risk scores seem low. Now, obviously, look, investors shot through the roof. Up 702 investors in the last 7 days. Obviously, people wanting to take advantage of this zero loss protection. Now, Another thing which I'd say be wary of. One of the worst things I could do is invest $10,000, which I really can't afford to leave for a year and 2.5 months. Why? Because I've invested $10,000. The economy is difficult at the moment. There is inflation. Costs are rising. Who knows what's going to happen over the next year? So if we invest money in this, and then in 7 months, let's imagine the world's economy something's gone really wrong and it's losing a lot of money. But also in real life, we have bills to pay and we have emergencies and we need to take that money out. Remember, if we take this money out before January 1st, 2025, we don't get the zero loss protection. So we want to be really sure that if we do invest a minimum of $10,000 or whatever we invest, that we can afford to leave it there until 1st of January 2025, and we easily have enough money to cover all of the unforeseen difficult events which are likely or possibly will pop up between now and 2025. Have we got enough money to take care of everything that's going to happen? Because the last thing we want to do is make a loss here and have to take it out and void our ability to take advantage of this special offer. And therefore, any losses are losses that we incur. Do you know what I mean? There's that risk. That's what I can see. If you can see other risks, write them in the comments, please. Not just so that I can see it, because I saw this morning and I wanted to make this video as quick as possible to sort of tell people about it, because I was shocked. I hadn't seen this before. I've missed it. This is like 12 days ago they released this offer. If you know of any other risks, so you can see them, write them in the comments. Write them in the comments so that everyone else who's reading those comments and sees underneath can get the benefit of your insight. If there's something I've missed, because this is a lot of money. We don't want to do this stupidly. If you can see anything I've missed, please write it in the comments for all of our sake, mine and everyone else's. Thank you. So here's the actual offer. So I'll link to this post in the description at the bottom of the video. There's also all the comments and questions from people in the community. They've asked a lot of good questions, which you've probably got as well, so it's useful to go over. So here are some more sort of complete terms and conditions for this special offer. And I'm going to link to this in the description to this video. So I really would go through this and have a read of it, because there's some useful stuff in there. Partial withdrawals. There are no partial withdrawals. So if you're lucky enough to have 100,000, which you can invest in this, then at the moment you can't partially withdraw that. The whole 100,000 would have to stay in for the full term until January 1st, 2025 for it to be eligible. Now they say that they might have partial withdrawals, might become available later, but there's some terms and conditions on that. So if you're investing an awful lot or you want to know if there are partial withdrawals, have a read of this. Access to the portfolio. Yes, you have access to your portfolio. You can always take your money out, but if you do and you slip below that $10,000, you're not going to be liable to get the special offer. Again, have a read of this. Other additional terms which are useful, some thoughts about taxes and tax implications. So I'll link to this document. Have a read of this if you're thinking about investing as well, because some useful stuff. Now, if we are going to invest in this, we don't just go and sort of click the invest button as normal. It's not as simple as investing. There's actually a Typeform, which is a form that we have to fill out to sort of make sure we're eligible and we're on the program before we invest, as far as I can see. Again, I've just seen this morning. So I'll link to that Typeform somewhere in the description. I'll get hold of it. I will link to it in the description so that we can sort of find how to do that and make sure we're eligible, make sure we're on this special offer if we're going to sort of invest that much money. So what do you think? Would you go for it? What do you think? I think if I had the money, I would go for it. I don't have the money. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe page, try and get the money to invest in this. I think I'd go for it. Again, that's not investment advice. $10,000 or whatever you invest, that's a lot of money. And a year and 2.5 months is a long time to lock it up. And as with everything, there's risk. But I think they've really tried, it seems, to pick something where they have low potential risk of having to pay us back all our losses, and they get that money sort of in their system for an amount of time. What do you think? Please leave in the comments what you'd do. Any suggestions, anything I've missed, again, leave that in the comments so that everyone can have a look and get the benefit of anything I've missed here, because we all want to stay safe and invest as wisely as possible. Any other things to think about, write them in the comments. Let me know, and amazing. I can't believe I missed that. Anyhow, I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.